everybody.
No.
We are so glad that you would join us. We just want to take a couple of minutes to let you know some information about our upcoming trip on May the 12th. All three of our choirs are going to be going. So Mitchell Mustang Choir, which is just sixth graders during the day. Our choir that is mixed choir that meets on Monday and Wednesdays. And then of course our chorale, which meets on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tell us a little bit about what a chaperone's going to be doing.
So our chaperones are primarily just going to help us, because we have so many students, keep track of one small group, really getting on and off the buses. That's kind of our biggest priority. When we're in the places we're at, they're going to be with their choir or Incredible Pizza. They'll kind of run around and do their thing. So every chaperone will have one of these. So when you get here at 6:30 that morning,
a.m.
We're having the kids arrive at 6:45, so 6:30 for you guys. You're gonna find your name, which will just be at the top. It'll be your last name. Then a color for the bus. That will be, we have 6 buses going. So we'll have a color for the bus, and then you will have your list of students. It will have all of their names. You will make sure, we are telling them as well who they're supposed to find, but help them get to you that morning. Kind of just make sure you have all of them, and then you will get on the bus with them. When we get to the church, they will be with their choir. They know what to do. You will follow a head chaperone. We have a head chaperone for every choir to kind of help facilitate that and make it a little easier. And then when we get back on the buses to go back to Incredible Pizza, same list. You'll go through the same thing. And that's just really to help us keep track of every single student and it be a little easier than us keeping track of 200.
We have over 200 students going with us. I think we had 219 on our list, and maybe a couple might not be able to make it. We also have a little subgroup that is in the chorale that are instrumentalists from the orchestra that are going to be leaving immediately after the chorale performance to join some parents that are going to take them to another festival. So a lot of moving parts for this day, and we couldn't do something this big without your assistance and your help. So just as Ms. Fritz said, we're going to all arrive at 6:30 in the morning, probably with coffee in hand. Look for those signs, collect those kids, and we're going to tell them, but we wanted you to know as well, once they get on the bus, we want them to be able to sit with their friends. They may not be in a group with their friend. They are accustomed to having to stay in their group for an entire field trip. But for us, it's not going to necessarily be that way. If there is a group and you've got a group of children that sing in more than one choir, they're going to get dismissed from you and come with us, and then you will get reunited with them afterward. And to just let you know also, the order when we get there, our first group that is going to be performing is the mixed choir. We're going to go, and as soon as we land, we're going to go straight into their warm-up room. We go from a 20-minute warm-up to our performance time. And then after the performance, the choir gets to go and work with one of the clinicians, one of the judges. So there's this rotation of 3 different rooms that always begins with the warm-up room. So the mixed choir is going to go through all of that. So if you're a chaperone for them, you're going to be kind of moving initially, and then when they're finished with the clinic, they're going to go back into the auditorium to listen to other choirs, not just Mitchell, but there are many, many choirs from around this area that are going to be participating. There are going to be times where we have one student who is in all 3, and so she's probably just going to tag along with us the whole time.
She will. But yeah, you'll know kind of which students, they'll tell you, hey, I'm in 2 choirs, and as soon as their first choir gets done, let's say that's mixed choir, then they will just go right back to the warm-up room with their next choir, which will be chorale. Chorale will go second, and it'll be the same process: warm-up, performance, clinic, and then the Mustang choir. And so as soon as chorale is finished with their clinic, I will be in there with them. Mrs. Stobie is going to take Mustang into the warm-up room, and then I'll be able to rejoin our other 2 choirs in the sanctuary to finish watching the performances. And then as soon as we know that Mustang is clear of our clinic, then we will check out with the contest directors and send you guys to the buses. And then as soon as we're clear to go, we will head to Incredible Pizza.
And we want to make sure that you understand that as a volunteer, you are not paying the fee. The fee is to cover all of the expenses of the registration, the meal, the transportation, all of those kinds of things. But the volunteers, we want to say thank you and provide you your lunch for free. When we get to Incredible Pizza, before they get off, they will be handed a card, and on that card will have $5. It's a $5 game card, and if students want to bring extra money, they are to keep it on their person the entire time. You do not need to be holding anybody else's money. We've made that very clear to the students and to the parents. So you might have some kids that say, hey, I've got an extra $5, I want to go put this on there. They will know, they probably all have been, and if they haven't, they've got a friend who's been. It's a very simple process, but we'll go in, we'll have a huge area, maybe more than one room because we're such a large group. They'll have some kids that go eat first and then play, and some that will go play and then eat, just so that we can move about very, very efficiently. Once we're ready to come back to Mitchell, Ms. Fritz and I will probably gather all of you as our volunteers and say, okay, let's go round them up and let them know. We'll give them a good 10-minute warning of you got to get your tickets done and come on out. And then as a leader of your own little group, you will be responsible for collecting those kids, making sure you have all of them with you. And then when you get on the bus, you can look to your head chaperone and say, yes, we have all 6 kids, or I have all 5 of my kids, and we're good to go.
And if you have one of those kiddos that is leaving to go to the orchestra trip, they will not be with us at Incredible Pizza. So we'll be able to mark them out after the church, and then that way you know you're not looking for them unexpectedly. But we are going to give you our cell phone numbers in the email we send with this video, because if for some reason there is a child missing, we cannot find someone, there's a safety issue, a health issue, we need to know immediately. So please save our cell phone numbers. You can call us, text us, unless it's during a performance, obviously we will answer. So we want you to have that information. That's really it. It should be a fairly easy day. The biggest piece is going to be this list, making sure that when we get on a bus and off a bus that you know where these 6 or 7, I think the largest group we have is maybe 7 or 8 kids. So just knowing where your group of kids is when we are back on the bus so that we can get back safely. But I think that's it.
And we will be back in time for children to go home their normal dismissal way. So
if you are a chaperone and you do want to check out your student, you will have to make sure we get back into the building first and then go through the front office. We cannot have you just kind of disappear into the parking lot with them. So please make sure you do that.
absolutely. And if you have any questions, you can always reach us via our email, which will be below in our email. Thanks in advance for really just giving of your time and being a part of truly the most fun day of the year.
Thank you.
Bye.